Good afternoon, everyone. Drake Hawkins with you again for some more EU4. This is the Navigator achievement run. So we start as Portugal and have to get provinces owned in Africa, India, and Indonesia before 1500. We have 45 years to do it. Let's see what we can do. Give me any comments or suggestions you have. If you've tried this one or if you've succeeded, what was your plan? How did you achieve it? How did you fail? How did you how did you go about this? Let me know. We had finished our issues with our rebels in the North Moroccan province, which also happens to be the very south tip of the Sevilla trade node. We currently own 38% of the trade. Castile owns 40%, and then Aragon has 6%, and then a whole bunch of others. France is at 4%, and then down from there. So we are trading in from Safi and Tunis to encourage growth in the Seville trade node. And we're going to go from there, see how things progress. We've got this diplomat working on our automatic, that's why it's green. So the green guy is the automated one, yellows are ones that we are directly controlling. We have one person working in Tlemcen and one person working in the Papal State right now. We can definitely boost the Papal State a bunch more. It's not really vital to me in this because it really doesn't matter long run, but some of these bonuses could be just an advantage, a boost to us, like having the ability to increase our diplomatic reputation, maybe add a mercantilism point or manpower recovery speed would be really nice if we're using it up in some hop, skip, jump sort of wars. If we can get up to 100, we get a free stability, those sort of things. So might as well keep our relations with them. We've got free diplomats pretty much all the time. So at the end of last episode, we hit the big kicker, which is this. Our technology is about to... We could right now get almost 2 marketplace bonuses. We have the minus 10 for Diplo and minus 5 for military. We have no reason not to get the military tech, and I think we should. It's at the very least going to discourage the neighbors from getting uppity. The North African tribes seem to be 3s and 4s. Castile is at 4. Everybody's at 4s here. Yeah, Provence and Savoy have 4 across the board. So 4 is the standard right now. It's not, if you notice, ahead of time. So is there anybody that's actually ahead of time on that? Has anybody gotten 5? Yeah, the Ottomans have military tech 5. Okay, that's not a big... They're never going to be a major threat to us unless they ally Tunis and we aggro Tunis or attack Tunis. I don't think that's going to be a problem. So that solves the military. We can just keep building that. That's no problem. We could click this button and improve our Diplo points, but what we really want it for is the exploration. We have conversion successful. Good in Tangier. And now we can send them off to Melilla, and that will take 43 months. When that's done, we can shut off. We've got to remember to shut off this edict. It's very expensive. Prosperity, really. Prosperity in if state of North Morocco has become prosperous, it would get the following benefits. Land development cost minus 10%, local goods produced modifier plus 25%. All of the trade is based off of that goods produced, so that's a big deal for trade empires. And monthly autonomy change reduction, so it basically becomes less autonomized, more centralized, better production of goods, and costs less to improve things. This state is not. Devastation in Algarve. Oh, really? See, this province still has devastation, which I did not realize. We're keeping it paused here, but let's look at that. Are these provinces gaining? No, because they have devastation where? In Porto. So when the Moroccans went and sieged out Algarve, Algarve, I don't know how you say that. Somebody let me know. And Porto, if I'm pronouncing things wrong, let me know. I'd love to improve on that. Porto was sieged down. It's got 6.97% devastation. There's no way that I know of to fix that other than to build a fortress nearby, which is totally not worth the money. But that is unfortunate. It would have almost been worth not letting them do that, especially with a trade empire. That would have helped our financial situation rather substantially in the long run. So we need to get this... back to this, we need to get the national ideas, exploration ideas right away, and it's going to cost us 400 for each of these things. So we're going to have to use 1,200 points as soon as possible. we want to have 800 right off the hop to do this. The max we can store, though, is 1,038. So, and that is because this institution now is adding 4% to the cost of all these things. It is growing. We're at 3.7%. It's not really substantial, so we might want to boost it. But yeah, it's going to be a while before we get the Renaissance here. But we can go ahead and do this tech as soon as it's available. It says it's going to be available March 1456 if nothing else changes. So we got a few months left, and we're making 8 per month. We're also making 8 per month here, so it'll hit 1038. It's going to cap out. We now have 1,000. It's only 38 more points. Granada is no longer a valid rival of Portugal. That would be because they're about to be gone. So that's alright. It gives us a bit of more power projection. Eclipsing Granada plus 20. Really? I didn't realize it was that good. That's almost as good as humiliating them. Fantastic. I don't think we can rival anybody else, can we? Yeah, we can. Olympian, Aragon, Castile, yeah. England declared war on Ulster for a conquest casus belli. So we have 30 points left. We're only going to go 3 more months before we have to do something. So we got to figure out what we're going to do with it. The Tlumkin guy can come back, and then we're going to go over here. We're going to get him on a neighbor improvement feature. Alright, how close are we? 590. We're gonna have to spend some point somewhere, aren't we? What? What? Oh, no, we have 590 available and 597. Oh my gosh, look at that. So close. One more month and we would be 2 packed for our points, so watch this. Next month, now we did have to renew a loan, that's alright. So for 1024, look how tight this is. 1024, 1024. We have 1038. We could do one more and we'd be at 1032. And then the next following month we'd be overused. But we have enough to get this lovely thing. That's probably because we now have the 5% bonus from some neighbor that got it. So we're going to go ahead and get idea group, or tech 5 and admin. Open the idea group and things change, and here's where the speed ball starts rolling. So now we have all these these diplo points that we can spend. We're going to get a diplomat, colonial venture, adding a diplomat, spending 400 points. Or sorry, not a diplomat, a colonist. Conquest of the New World allows us to have our explorers and our guys, those conquistadors. We will probably use both at some point. Now, we also have to decide on our native policy. I think we're going to, for sheer speed of things, I think the best way to do it is the global settler increase. I don't think the native trade policy gives us an advantage. Let me know what you think about this, but I'm pretty sure this one is the, zero concern, drop down your colony, place and, fire and forget sort of system. Place the colony, let it run its course. They're never going to rebel. They just take longer because you don't get any bonuses for it. This one is, I think, the other spectrum where it's as fast as you can, but you don't reduce or affect the chances of native uprising. This is kind of a middle road, but I'm not quite sure. If somebody can explain native assimilation or your take on native assimilation and what it affects, that would be great. I should look that up. But I think we're going to go with native repression policy. The rude, very suiting for the what I understand of as the colonial mentality for a lot of these places. We're going to go in and we're going to steamroll everybody that puts that in places where we're placing colonies. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to remove the population, which will put our culture and our religion in place, and we won't get any bonuses from natives, but we also won't have any uprisings. So that spot happens to have nobody, so we're populating an unpopulated place. I imagine that was probably not 100% real for the time, but oh darn, we should have unmothballed these fleets. Okay, you now have the ability to explore because you can go places. So let's go to the Caribbean Sea and discover America. That'll be our top priority because it'll take a while for this colony to come through, and we need another 200 points for just shy of 200 points for us to get the third idea in here, opening the colonial range. That'll also give us national sailor modifier and colonial. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that's also a 25% colonial range boost. Wow, that's huge. Huge, huge, huge. Huge. Mali would like to buy our conquistadors, our troopers. Mosi, Bonaman, and Dahami. Well, you're going to just have to deal with your own wars there, buddy. I might come through and stomp something. A new settlement. Gain 10 prestige or get a base tax bonus in Cabo Verde. Now, Cabo Verde, I think, is... Well, normally I'd go with the tax right away, but we don't have any missions running right now, do we? Oh, yes, Conquer and Core Tangiers. So we'll just take the base tax, thank you. We haven't done the coring of Tangiers because, of course, we needed those 400 or 590 odd points. That would have set us back hugely. So we do need to core this, and that'll be our next priority for admin points. Need 98 admin points to do it. How are the rebels situations? You can go for another number of years before you have issues, right? Yeah, another 5 years before you're going to have any chance of uprising. And you're at minus 92.8. Separatism should start to fade by then, or overextension will have been taken care of by then. And so yeah, that'll probably give us a positive condition for both of those. I love that Paradox, I said this in another Let's Play, but I love that Paradox has all, with the exception of like one music DLC, all of their music is free source. So you can play it on your videos and you can't get flagged for them. I love it. Well, you shouldn't be flagged anyways. So gain a stability, and the nobility gains loyalty, or the burghers lose loyalty, or we gain a few bucks, and it's the other way around. We'll gain the stability, thank you. We're now at 3, unless we were already at 3, which would suck that if I did that. Iberian wedding. Let us bind a dynasty with ours. So now Aragon is under a personal union with Castile. That's great. Castile is now considered a great power, of course. The Aragonese are more stable, but they do not own Naples, which is interesting. They're at war with the Papal State. Well, let's see what's going on there. Papal Napoleon excommunication war. The Pope excommunicated Naples. Yeah, that's not self-interest at all, is it? What's going on here? Venice, Corfu, and Naxos are at war with Serbia and Bosnia. Really? In the... Who started this? Venetian reconquest of Zeta. Okay, Venice wants their province back, their core back. Castile has announced France as their rival. Well, that's unnecessary. Accepted peace. Granada accepted peace. Good. So Castile basically went in a war where Morocco said, "Yeah, we'll support you, Granada," and then Morocco just stood there with their guys in the mountains in Fez hiding with their new leader and ignored it and let Castile take Granada out. That's perfectly fine with me. Keeps our neighbor a little more strong and hopefully friendly. Yeah, we got lots of chance to improve relation with, or to friendly them. They are hearty towards us. Marriage between us gives us plus 10 trust and Portuguese diplomatic reputation. Friendly attitude. Good, good, good. King Alphonse is now a sinner. Tolerance of the true faith minus 2. Ouch, that hurts. Jeepers, dude, you suck. You're an embezzler and a sinner. So the church is probably not going to be, you know, the local bishop might have to have you in for talks repeatedly and trying to fix your evil ways. But oh well. That sucks for us and for our country. We're not going to support Mali's via troops. Do we have that? Those explorers doing their job yet? Oh yeah. Yeah, you do. Does that mean we've explored and discovered America? No, we actually have to have a land tile discovered, I guess. So are you going to come back now? We'll see. I think he's going to do 1 or 2 more provinces. And there he is. Just the one, not province, C-zone. And he's going to pull back in, and then we're going to try to send him right back out to discover America. Because as soon as he does, we'll be able to do the Golden Age. Give us morale of armies, morale of navies, all power costs minus 10%, goods produced modifier plus 10%, and maximum absolutism, which is not relevant. So, where are you? Explorer finished? Can you go to the coast of the Caribbean? Is that an option? Yes, it is. Excellent. Right away, dude. And how's our colony doing? We have a whopping 69 people in Cabo Verde. That is terrible. We can add this to a trading company. Now, that's going to remove basically all the function of it except for trade. So it's not going to give us manpower, it's not going to give us tax, but it is going to give us trade. And I think each of these zones we need to do that with. So we'll click there. That'll give 100% local trade power, minus everything else. All gone. So they can't missionary, they can't manpower, they can't sailor, they can't tax. But because we have no other, because we have no peoples down here that are, it's all Portuguese culture and it is Catholic. So we're not going to need to missionary, and we're going to tax, but that'll be much later. So yeah, we'll go ahead and add that and everything in the trade zone, and that is the Ivory Coast zone. I believe that's part of the Ivory Coast, right? Yes, it's considered part of the Ivory Coast. Then we got all these other trade nodes in the New World. We're not going to do anything with the New World except for go visit it. And I think we just did that, actually. Just before we do that. Yes, we did. We just discovered America, a nation with a capital in Europe, Asia, or Africa. Discover at least one province in either North or South America. That allows us the 3 needed to get a golden age. Since it's 1457, the golden age will last beyond the 1500 point that this mission goes on. Normally, I'd be like, when is the best time to do this? For us, Age of Discovery seems to be a thematically right way to do this. We're going to hit the golden age. Lasts for 50 years and gives the following morale bonus: armies and navies 10%. I just went through these, but it's fantastic. So we're gonna get, biggest one is the power points. Minus 10% to all power. That means anything you do that costs these are worth 10% more. It's fantastic. And also goods production modifier. So that's wonderful. Portugal is now in a golden age. That's lovely. So, what can we do? Well, we're not doing that. No conductiari to you guys, but we do have the points now, the Diplo points, to go ahead and get the overseas expansion. 50% colonial range. 50%! That's fantastic. And our first Portuguese national idea gives us national sailor modifier plus 10 and colonial range by plus 25. Henry the Navigator, that's what our mission's about, was the 3rd son of John I of Portugal. Knowing he would never be king, he spent his life promoting exploration and seacraft. Like 3rd son of the king, what do you do with your life? This guy decided to change the world. This legacy is still with us today. The legacy of the Navigator. Excellent. So that gave us a 25% boost to colonial range, plus a 50% boost to colonial range. Huge! So now let's look at our colonial range map. Boom! Without having another colony, we can already go into, into the Caribbean. We could set up a colonial a colony in the Caribbean. We can also set one up in the colonial zones. Where are the colonial zones? That's the colonial range. Is it under political? Diplomatic. Where are you? Regions. Colonial and trade regions. So there's colonial Colombia. Then there's this one, which is colonial Caribbean. The colonial Brazil, which is the most famous common one for the Portuguese to go. But if you have the patience to set your first you set your first colony down here, and then you get those combinations that we got, plus you've got this opened, dude, you can get there quick. Okay, we've got, we can get all the way to the Caribbean, so we could actually set up long before Spain ever gets there and have a colonial colony there. That would be a normal thing I'd do for a normal playthrough, but this is a speed run, so we need to focus elsewhere. Where's our ships? They're going to keep exploring all that. Oh, no, they're done exploring that area. We're running out of time for this video, so we've opened up the super fast steamroll of colonialism. We have, let's see, what's our colonial growth rate? 40 per year? Oh, that's right, we haven't done that ability yet. So we only have 40 per year right now, but we're going to get the Age of Discovery's Portuguese exclusive. 800 splendor, so that's going to come pretty soon, actually. Math. We need 800, so we need 113 more. I don't know what that is. Lots. But we're not going to be long before, maybe a year and a bit, or whatever that is, that we're going to need before we get the bonus. That'll get a little more than double our colonial speed. So, set this guy off on his mission. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, I'll see you in game.